We are not sleeping right now. I am. We returning to Haruhi, Suzumiya. Okay, it was at Ton Wook. Haruhi said after rushing over to the window before falling silent. I stood next to her and looked down at the world below. The gray world extended as far as I could see. Our stool was built on the side of a mountain, so you could see the shoreline from the fourth floor. I looked 180 degrees to the left, and 180 degrees to the right. Everywhere I looked, I saw no light suggesting human life. All the houses were plunged in darkness. Even the ones covered by curtains didn't have any light spilling out. As though every last person had vanished from this world. Where are we? It wasn't that everyone else had disappeared. We were the ones who had disappeared. In this case, it would be the intruders who had slipped into this deserted world. This gives me the creeps, Haruhi murmured as she hugged her shoulders. We didn't know where to go, and so we made our way back to the club room we had just left that evening. We had swiped the tea from the faculty office, so we had no trouble getting in. Okay, this sucks that none of them can pass any checks. Oh no. Oh, interact time. There we go. It's not. I look for. I'm just here for the badge, just in case. I wanted the badge. All right. So where was I? Under the fluorescent lights, we sighed with relief at returning to our familiar headquarters. I turned on the radio, but there wasn't even any white noise. First, I need to make sure I trigger this every floor. Without the slightest hint of wind. Only the sound in the club room was the sound of me pouring water into the teapot. I didn't feel like bothering to change the tea leaves, so it was just diluted tea. I'm the one who brewed it. Haruhi was just half dazed, staring at the gray world outside. Want tea? No. I carried my teacup and pulled out a metal chair. I took a sip. Asina's tea is 100 times better. What's going on? What is this? I don't get it. Where are we? Why am I in this place? Haruhi said all of this without turning around. Still standing at the window. From behind, she looked really thin. And why is it just you and me? Hell if I know. Haruhi flipped her skirt and hair and looked at me with a pissed off look on her face. I'm going to explore a bit. Where was it? I'm going to explore a bit. He said as he headed out of the room. I mean said, you stay here. I'll be right back. And with that, she left the room. I guess that's typical of her. As her lively footsteps faded into distance, I sipped my unsavory tea. That was when he finally showed up. A small red ball of light. At first, it was the size of a ping pong ball. Then its outline gradually grew in size while flickering like a firefly before settling into the shape of a human. Tozumi! Though it had a human shape, it did not look human. No eyes, nose, or mouth, just a shining red doll. Why, hello. An optimistic voice broadcasted from within the red light. Took you long enough. I was waiting to you to appear in a more tangible form. Regarding that, I need to tell you a few things. No beating around the bush, I'll be frank. This is an abnormal situation. The red light flickered. With normal closed spaces, I am easily able to gain entry. However, that wasn't the case this time. I could only appear in this incomplete form after borrowing the power of all my colleagues. And it probably won't last very long. The power that rests within us is beginning to disappear. What's going on? Are Haruhi and I the only ones here? Precisely, Suzumiya responded. In other words, what we feared has already begun to happen. Suzumiya has finally given up on the current world and decided to create a new world. As a result, our superiors are in a state of panic. Nobody knows what will happen to our world once it has lost its dawn. If Suzumiya happens to be feeling merciful, our world may continue to exist without change, but it'll also return to nothing in the next second. Why'd this happen? No one knows. The red light faltered like a flame. In any case, you and Suzumiya have completely vanished from our world. You are not in ordinary closed space. It is an entirely new dimension created by Suzumiya. Perhaps all the previous instances of closed spaces were merely practice runs. Funny joke. Tell me which part I'm supposed to laugh at. Ha! 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 That wasn't a joke. I am dead serious. The road you are in is probably the manifestation nearest to the road Haruhi desires. Though we aren't sure what it is she wants. Indeed, who knows what will happen. Yeah, find it the what's that? Tier 2 T wordless one, by the way. T wordless. I did it here. Nope. Okay, what do I have? Wow, I've got rupture, so that would just be another random refresh. Nope. Warning notice. Mention biases is tier 2 from this pack. Bind. Sure. Just to remove a tier 2 exclusive one from this pack. Alright, can we do it here? Nope. Alright. First refresh. Second refresh. Let's take Rusty Coin. Third. Fourth. Fifth. No. Tremor Town. No one gets self-tremor here. It's the Sea Song who's a tremor die here. Ooh, this is doing pretty bad now. Doing pretty desperate as well. Alright, I'm gonna tell it here. No. Nothing. That was just a big waste of currency. What was the point of taking this feat? I should just took a fraction railway pack or something, you know? Oh man, what was I doing here? Alright. I wanted it the Pierce one for Tears of Tarnished Blood as well. So let me just see if I did that going here. Why am I... let's just pause. Alright. That's a horrible shop. I spent all my costs for nothing. No upgrades either. Still don't have any of the tier 4 Poise Fusion ones. Yeah, this is going to just normal 415, I guess. Oh wait, so was it? Wait, so where was I? I don't even know. Yeah, it says here. Who knows what happened? So aside, why am I here? Do you really not know? You've been chosen by Suzumiya. The only person from the old world Suzumiya truly wanted to be with. I thought you had realized this long ago. Suzumiya's light was about as dim as a flashlight running out of batteries. It would appear that I'm almost out of time. The way things look now, I probably won't be seeing you again. I suppose I'm rather relieved, for I'll no longer need to hunt Celestials. Do I have to live in this stray world all alone and far away? Adam and Eve, if you reproduce enough, it'll work out, won't it? Don't make me hit you. Just a joke. All kidding aside, I'd assume that this close area of space will only last momentarily, and should soon turn into a familiar looking world. However, it probably won't be entirely the same. You could say that the world you are in now is the real world, and the former world will be closed space. It is a pity I won't be able to observe the differences between the worlds. Well, if I happen to be born into the new world, please treat me kindly. Suzumiya is turning back into a ping-pong ball, his human shape to wax in strength like a burned-out star. We can no longer go back to the old world? If Suzumiya desires it, then perhaps, but the possibility is slim though. For myself, I would have liked to spend more time with you and Suzumiya, so I regret this turn of events. I enjoyed being in the SOS Brigade. Oh, and that's right, I forgot to move the messages from Ryōshū, Asahina, and Yuki Nayoto. Suzumiya said the following words were completely disappearing. Ryōshū Asahina wanted to apologize. She said, "I'm sorry, it's all my fault." Yuki Nayoto's message was, "Turn on the computer. I'll be doing now." The end was quite quick, like a candle being blown out. I pondered Asahina's message. Why is he sorry? What did Asahina do? I decided to think about that later and turned on the computer per the other message. As the hard drive produced sounds of seeking, the OS logo showed up in the monitor. Except not, the OS screen, which should have booted up in a few seconds, didn't show up. The monitor remained black. There's only a blinking white cursor on the left edge of the screen. The cursor began moving soundlessly to spell out this alert message. You thought, and can you see this? At the brief period of bewilderment, I pulled the keyboard towards me. My fingers began typing. Yeah. Alright. The connection has not completely been severed with your space-time, but it's only a matter of time. The connection will be closed soon. That will be the end. What should I do? Nothing can be done. The eruption of the normal data in this world has completely vanished. The data over mind is in despair. The possibility for evolution has been lost. What was the whole possibility of evolution thing anyway? What part of Haruhi could possibly be considered evolved? High-level intelligence refers to data processing, speed, and accuracy. The intelligence of organic life forms has limited processing capabilities due to error and noise data from their physical bodies. As a result, once they reach a certain level, evolution stops. So our physical bodies are the problem? The data overmind was created from data to begin with. It was believed that their data processing ability would increase infinitely until the universe burned up. That was what was wrong. Just as the universe has its limits, evolution has its limits. At least, as long as they remain a discarnate entity of data. Discarnate? I'm assuming this is they're not. Okay, I need to make sure I do the thing here. I'll probably just do it here if you like. I don't really need to deal with any of its mechanics. I need to make sure I did D7 res here. That's why I manually did the first thing. As that is for the achievement. I have to trigger the something, whatever it's called. I'm still missing the other poise one. And there's no other fusion ones, I think, for H-Torp, so... And Suzumiya? Haruhi Suzumiya possesses the ability to create data from nothing, an ability a data overmind does not have. A human, a mere organic life form, is creating more data than it can process in its lifetime. If we could analyze this ability to create data, we could find a true regarding auto-evolution. Or so we thought. The tears are flickered. I could feel your hesitance before the words began racing again. We are counting on you. Counting on me? We wish for you to return to this world. Haruhi Suzumiya is a vital observation subject, an important being that may never be born into this universe again. I also individually feel that I want you to return. The others were fading. The filters slowly produced words. Another visit to the library would. The monitor blacked out, increasing the brightness didn't help. Nagoto's final typed words were brief. Weeping beauty. The loud rattling of the hard drive standing almost made me jump up. The access light blinked, and the monitor displayed the familiar OS screen. The royal computer fan was the only sound in this world. What are you telling me to do, Nagoto? Tozumi? I let a deep sigh and casually, really, just looked out the window. The window frame was covered in blue light. They're both broken. It should be fine then. A giant of light stood in the courtyard. Up close, it looked like a blue wall. Haruhi jumped into the room. John, something's here! Haruhi almost ran into me as I stood at the window before coming to a halt next to me. What is that? It sure is big. A monster? It isn't a mirage, right? She sounded excited, like her earlier dream had never happened. Her eyes shone without a hint of anxiety. Maybe it's an alien, or the revival of some super weapon developed by an ancient race. Is that what's keeping us from reaching stool? The blue wall stirred. My mind flashed back to the scene of Star Troopers being trampled down. I immediately grabbed Haruhi's hand and ran out of the club room. Ah, hey, what are you doing? We practically fell into the hallway. At the same time, a large roar vibrated through the air. I pushed Haruhi to the floor and covered her with my body. The clubhouse shook violently, and her hear sounds of hard, heavy objects crashing into the floor down the hallway. Based on the volume of the sound, the giant apparently hadn't targeted the trash room with its attack. It was probably the building across the way. I grabbed Haruhi's hand and pulled her up as she sputtered. I then took off running. Oddly enough, Haruhi followed without complaint. Is it my palm that's sweating, or is it Haruhi's? The taste of dust in the decrepit clubhouse was gone. As I dashed as fast as I could to the stairs, I heard a second crashing sound. I raced down the stairs to feel Haruhi's body eat through her hand. We turned across the courtyard and headed down the slope to the track. Upon first glance, Haruhi's face next to me looked, though I may be mistaken, somewhat happy, like a kid on Christmas morning finding all the presents she wanted next to her bed. We kept running to put some distance between us and the building. When I looked up, I became truly aware of how big the giant was. The one in the place Tozumi took me had been about as big as a skyscraper. The giant raised its arm and smashed its fist into the stool building. The first hit had already split open the cheap 4-story structure, so it collapsed rather readily. Debris flew in all directions, causing deafening noise. 7 res? Is that 7? It's only 6. Damn it, Ishmael. What the hell? No. Can I stall for some turns? Just see if I can stall. Alright. We stopped after advancing to the center of the 200-meter track. A gigantic blue humanoid rose against the gloomy monotone canvas like a Hollywood special effect. I was thinking about how this was what Haruhi should be taking pictures of for our website. She didn't need to put up pictures of the Computer Research Society's president's dropping Asahina, much less pictures of her in costumes. This scene is what we should put on the website. And there's the 7 res. Or full res this time, I guess. As I was thinking about that, the sound of Haruhi rapidly speaking reached my ear. Do you think it will attack us? It's just a hunch, but I don't think it's anything evil. Don't know. As I responded, I was thinking to myself about what Suzumiya explained when he first took me into the Troll's space. If we left the destructive actions of Spectrals unchecked, the world would eventually be replaced. As in this gray world would take the place of the former world, and then, what would happen next? According to Suzumiya, a new world was apparently being created by Haruhi. Would the Asahina and Nagato I know be in it? Or would it be a world where abnormal becomes normal? Where these Celestials walked freely and aliens, time travelers, and espers were everywhere? If that were to happen, what would my role be in that world? There's no point in thinking about it, since I don't have a clue. I don't know what Haruhi was thinking. I am no master at reading other people's minds. I have no skills at all. As I stood deep in thought, Haruhi's cheerful voice sounded near my ear. What is all this? This weird world and that giant. It looks like you made them, both this place and that thing, anyway. What I want to ask is why I've been dragged into this. Adam and Eve, you say? That's just dumb. I won't accept such a three-stage turn of events. I refuse to. Doris, the main character, I said before, he starts talking to himself out of nowhere for a bit. Usually, I know in books, if it's from perspective of character, for example, this is from character, it would be for, oh, and let's fight this side. Yeah, sure. I need more tier 1s to fuse away anyway. Don't you want to go back to our old world? I asked, sounding like I was reading off a script. Huh? Haruhi's shining eyes seemed to dim. I turned to her white face juxtaposed against the gray backdrop. We can't stay in this place for the rest of our lives. It doesn't look like there's a place to eat when we get hungry. There probably aren't any stores open. And if that invisible wall extends around this entire place, we won't be able to get out. We'll surely starve to death. You know, it's kind of strange, but I'm not really concerned about any of that. I just get the feeling it'll work itself out. I know something's wrong, but I don't know. I'm having fun right now. What about the SOS Brigade? It's a trouble you made. You don't want to just ditch it? It doesn't matter anymore. After all, I am really enjoying myself right now. There's no need to look for anything mysterious anymore. I want to go back. The giant suspended its dismantling of the stool. I discovered something after being thrown into this situation. I made complain all the time, but I actually kind of like how my wife was. Including that idiot Taniguchi and Tentida, Zumi, Nagoto, and Asuna. They even include the vanished Asakura. What are you talking about? I want to see them again. I feel like I still have so many things to tell them. Haruhi's head lowered a bit. I'm sure we'll see them. This world won't be covered in darkness forever. The sun will rise tomorrow. I can tell. That's not what I mean. I don't mean in this world. I want to see the old them in the old world. I don't get it. Yeah, I think I have the poise one. I think the pierce one then. And that'll sure help Meursault, I think. The one flash power. Yeah, one. Oh no, it's was that final power or twin power? I don't know. All right, feedback. Turn feedback exclusives. Yeah, I was surprised it's not a fusion for these or something. All right, it's going to be what? Probably the powered out, and it's going to be the failures. Haruhi made a pouting face and looked up at me. She had this strange mixed look of hatred and sorrow, like some kid who had her present taken away. Weren't you fed up with that boring world? It was just an ordinary world where nothing special ever happened. Didn't you want something more interesting to happen? I did indeed. The giant began walking. It kicked down the wreckage of the collapsed stool building and advanced into the courtyard. It karate chopped the passageway between buildings and punched the clubhouse. Our stool was being blown apart. In our club room, I looked over Haruhi's head to see the base of more blue walls standing in different positions from the giant. 1, 2, 3. I stopped counting once I got to 5. The giants, unhindered by the red balls of light, began destroying the gray world as they pleased. It must have been my twisted mind telling me that they were probably having a good time doing this. Every time they waved their limbs, the red tape vanished like a piece of space being shaved off. Half the stool was gone without a trace. I was able to sense if the troll's space was expanding. Plus, I really didn't know anything about the whole expanding until the space becomes a new reality thing. I just knew that it was how it was. Right then, if a drunk middle-aged guy sitting next to me on the train were to say, "Don't tell anyone, but I'm actually an alien," I probably would have believed him. I'd already had 3 times the amount of experience I had a month ago. What can I do? It would have been impossible a month ago, but now I could do it. I already received a few hints. I resolved myself and spoke. "Haruhi, I've been through some very fantastic experiences the past few days. You probably don't know, but there are actually a bunch of extraordinary people interested in you. You could even say that the world is revolving around you. These people consider you to be a unique girl and are acting accordingly. You may not have realized, but the world is definitely moving in an interesting direction." I wanted to grab Haruhi's shoulders when I realized I was still holding her hand. Haruhi, however, had a look on her face like she thought I had mad cow disease. Unconsciously, Haruhi avoided my eyes and watched a giant take apart the stool like it was completely natural. As I looked at her from the side, I became newly aware of the softness of the curves of her face. Gregor said she was the potential for evolution. I turned to Asahina. She was a time warp. Suzumiya treated her as a god. And what about me? What did Haruhi Suzumiya mean to me? Haruhi was Haruhi and nobody else. I wasn't going to use such overblown language to dodge the question. I didn't happen to have a decisive answer. Isn't that natural? If someone points to the trustworthy thing behind you and asks, "What is she to you?" how are you supposed to respond? No, sorry, that's still dodging the question. Haruhi wasn't just trustworthy to me. Of course, she was also wasn't the potential for evolution or time whip, much less dog. She couldn't possibly be, as it's going to be the fight now for the thing. Oh well, I can't retort this, I guess. Alright, let's resume now. The giant turned toward the track. It has no face or eyes, yet I could feel it looking at us. It began walking. Each step carried it meters. Despite its sluggish movements, the creature's approaching figure loomed before us. Think, what did Asahina say? Her warning. And Nagato's last message, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. Even I should know that Sleeping Beauty was referring to the what? What do the two have in common? It answer came true once I factored in our current situation. So cliché, way too cliché. Asahina and Nagato, I won't accept this stupid turn of events, no way in hell. Or so my rational thoughts insisted. Nagato called it a noise. Humans are not rational creatures. I reached Haruhi's hand, grabbed the shoulders of her silver uniform, and turned her toward me. What is it? Actually, ponytails turn me on. What? That ponytail used to wear looked so good. It was criminal. Are you an idiot? Her black eyes appeared to reject me. As Haruhi raised her voice in protest, I forced my whips onto hers. It's expected to close your eyes in such situations, so I did. This is why I didn't see the expression on Haruhi's face. Maybe her eyes were wide open in shock. Maybe her eyes were closed like mine. Maybe she had her arm raised over her head, about to smack me. I have no way of knowing, but I wouldn't have noticed being smacked right then. I am willing to bet that anyone in the situation with Haruhi would feel the same way. I strengthened my grip on her shoulders. I didn't want to let go just yet. I could hear roaring sounds in the distance. The giants were probably punching and kicking the stool at. But in the next second, a sense of weightlessness threw me off balance. I fell, experiencing an excruciating impact on my left side. My kiss shouldn't have warranted a judo throw, but I opened my eyes and froze upon seeing a familiar ceiling. I was in a room, my room. I looked to the side to find my bed and discovered that I had fallen onto the floor. Naturally, I was wearing my sweats. Half of my disheveled blanket had fallen off the bed. My arm was behind my back and my mouth was wide open like an idiot's. It took me a while before I regained my senses. I stood up half conscious and pulled open the curtains to look outside. I could see a few stars and street lights shining here and there. Once I saw a flickering light in one of the houses, I began walking in circles in my room. A dream? Was it all a dream? Stuck in a road alone with a girl I knew, and I ended up kissing her. Frood would have had a field day with this. Did I really have a dream that's such an easy read? Ah, I want to hang myself this very second. I should probably be grateful that Japan eliminated the right to bear arms. If an automatic handgun had been within reach, I would have popped myself in the head without hesitation. If it had been Asahina, I should have picked at my honest desires within the dream. But it was Haruhi, of all people! What the hell was I subconscious thinking about? I sat wearily on my bed and threw my arms over my head. If it was a dream, it was the most realistic one I have ever had. My right hand was covered in sweat, and I could still feel a warm sensation on my lips. And here's the old siege. Oh wait, I had it. I didn't have the thing. Oh, pff. Here's the old I said siege. No, it's what do you call it? Image. I don't know why it's so late after the fact as well. Actually, wait, this answers the question, didn't it? Actually, where was it? Yeah, it should have his eyes closed. He's just faceless. What? He's just faceless? But yeah, there's Haruhi's reactions. As mentioned earlier, that he couldn't see his eyes closed. Or this was no longer the old world. It was the new world Haruhi had created. If that was the case, was there a way for me to confirm that? Well, I don't know, but I'm thinking tier 3 ego death to do. Oh man, they're all plus toys. No, maybe, but I couldn't think of anything. Actually, I didn't want to think at all. If I was going to have to accept that my brain was capable of coming up with such a stupid dream, I'd rather the world be destroyed. It made me want to pull my hair out. I picked up my alarm clock and checked the time. 2:30 a.m. I am going back to bed. I pulled my covers over my head and attempted to coax my brain into slumber. Only I didn't sleep a wink. Which is why I walked up the hill to school the next day in a foul mood. Quite frankly, it was painful. The only saving grace was that I didn't run into Tanaduchi and have to deal with his stupid blabbering. The blazing sun faithfully engaged in full-power nuclear fusion. Would it kill the sun to blow the thermostat every now and then for our sake? Alright, over here. Yeah, no one died, yeah. I got the max res, right? Which that's good, because I had to do that anyway. So go for this here. Let's start building up that as well. Oh man, there's something wrong with my throat right now. Don't break that. Super Time Fairies, which hadn't shown up when I wanted them to, were now circling over my head. I really doubted I'd hear much, if any, of what was said in first period. Once the stool was in sight, I stopped and stared bemusedly. Ooh, new. Okay, something in my nose. That's next to my. Something weird. Oh. Use Ed. We. Bemusedly. Let me see. In a way that makes you slightly confused. It shows you're slightly confused. Just bemusedly. I never figure ours. Alright. Okay, hopefully it's been. At the decrepit 4-story building, the front gate, clubhouse, and passageway, sucking in students the way an anthill sucks in ants. We're all there. I dragged my way slowly up the stairs to head for my familiar 1-5 classroom. I stopped moving 3 steps from the open doorway. Haruhi was already sitting in the last row next to the window. Why? She had her chin in her hands as she looked out the window. The back of her head was in plain sight. A tied-off portion of her black hair stuck out like a top knot. It wasn't really a ponytail. She just tied off a bit of hair, didn't she? Yo, how's it going? I asked. I dropped my bag on my desk. I feel miserable. I had a nightmare last night. Haruhi answered in a flat voice. Well, isn't that a coincidence? I ended up not getting any sleep. I never wanted to skip school as badly as I do today. Oh, really? I sat down in the hard chair and peered at Haruhi's face. The strands of hair above her ear were covering the side of her face, so I couldn't really make out her expression. Just as well, I could tell she wasn't in a good mood. At least, that's the impression I got. Haruhi, I said. What? As Haruhi refused to budge from staring out the window, I said to her, your hair looks nice today. Epilogue. We're actually near the ending. Let's talk a little about what happened afterward. By noon, Haruhi had untied her hair and restored it to its former straight style. She probably got sick of that knot. Once her hair grows longer, I would try indirectly suggesting she try a ponytail with it. I ran into Suzumiya during break, on the way back from the restroom. I need to thank you, he said with an over-easy smile on his face. The world remains unchanged. Suzumiya is still here. It looks like I won't be out of a job just yet. Indeed, you did really well. I'm not being sarcastic. Although we can't discount the possibility that this road was new created last night, in any case, I feel privileged to see you and Suzumiya again. He said that this might be the beginning of a long friendship as he waved goodbye. I'll see you after school. When I went to the club room during lunch, I found the usual sight of Nagoto reading. You and Haruhi Suzumiya disappeared from this road for 2.5 hours. We were the first words out of our mouth. And the only words, as Nagoto began to ignore me, like I was a stranger and silently read, I opened my mouth. I'm reading the book you lent me. I can probably return it in another week or so. I see. As always, she didn't look at me. Tell me, how many others like you on Earth? Many. Will another one like Assoc attack me? Don't worry. For once, Nagoto raised her head and looked into my eyes. I won't wet them. I started out to mention what I had thought of her at the library. After school, Asahina was, oddly enough, wearing her sailor uniform instead of her maid outfit in the trouble room. When she saw me, she threw her body onto mine. I'm so glad to see you again, Asahina said in a tearful voice as she buried her face in my chest. I thought you'd never be able to return to this world. Maybe she felt my arms creeping around her. Asahina suddenly thrust her arms into my chest and pushed me away. You mustn't. If Suzumiya sees us like this, it'll happen all over again. I don't know what you mean. Her large, teary eyes were beyond lovely. You to be born anew looking at them. No man in the world to resist her eyes of pristine innocence. Not gonna wear your maid outfit today? It's being cleaned. That's what I remembered. I pointed to a spot above my heart. I just remembered something. Asahina, you have a star-shaped mole around this spot on your chest, right? Asahina wiped the tears from the corner of her eye and made a face like a passenger pigeon after a shotgun was fired right before its eyes. She quickly turned around and tugged the neckline of her dress to look down her chest. Her ears instantly turned red, which amused me to no end. How did you know? I never knew it was shaped like a star. Did you see it? Wait a second. Star? No, it's a different spot. No. I don't think Asahina is a Joestar, alright? I still need to talk up on the new part. Was it part 9? Yeah, I still haven't actually went back and continued reading it. Even though I said, I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and finish it, since I remember when JoJoian was, I still elementary when JoJoian was releasing. Alright, offensive plus 5 total? Sure. It's 10, that is 11, that is also 11. Alright, so we're taking that. And then my choice between Trout Powder and Door Bottle, or I think there is still some slash type still ones, I think. Yeah, well, that won't do anything. I'll take Door Bottle. Okay, let's take another level boost. Remove the stagger threshold. Let me see. Triple the Ego Resource Toss. 3,000 shield. On all enemies. Fixing counters applies to Tor only. Shield Team effect does not expire by turn end. You know what? Sure, that's a new one. That is a new one, alright. So, let's just take Everything Greenery, maybe. Might be interesting. I only took this one once, I think. There's no new packs in Extreme. I'm still taking the top path till we get a hidden boss. That's to shake hands. What we do? I like to shake hands anyway. That's right. No consent for the handshake. There's no hidden diffs. No hidden fights. No. Alright, what do we have here? Rodion, Heathcliff, refresh. Homeward? No. That's to dust. Oh yeah, dipping some burnt town at start. Sure. Yeah, I'll take that. Termilia, Tangled Bones. No. White Bloomer 16. Yeah, sure, actually, that's good. Whiffle Draft. I mean, Stagger, that won't be happening. I'll take another, that one, and then I'll take, Crushing Horns. I don't know if I did Hidden Boss, how many I have to go through, how many units I have to go through until they all, you know, are done. So, Trust Me, I don't really need that. No, I don't need that at all. So see chat stuff. Make sure I'm at top. Actually, I'm looking for a tremor one. Actually, hold on. I'm looking for. I don't have the eyeball. I think. Hold on. Is it? Can I get it here? Do I have the eyeball already then, or I don't know. Keyword. I don't. Yeah, it's bury any tremor. I don't think I see it anywhere. I don't have it. I don't have it. So there is something for me to go for, actually. Alright. Time to try and get it, I guess. Nope. Nope. Fuse that away, too. Where is it? Where is it? You know, maybe I should have split everything for. Alright. I'll keep Oracle, actually. That should be helpful. I don't need that. And I don't need... Can I put Logic Circuit? I know that actually does the thing. Actually, no, keep that, keep that, keep that. Get rid of that. There it is. Alright, now I can start everything else. Where's that other tier 3 tremor when I just thought? I'm gonna sell it! Biovenom, actually to keep Biovenom foul, actually. Yeah, there's nothing, no harm in keeping that, I feel like. I get rid of the Compass though. Where is it? Thinking. The head like the first cell be increased, so definitely I sold something there. In terms of other stuff I could actually do to get better here. Final power, it's a flash power, not really much of a difference there. That won't be happening. Staggered enemies. I probably won't be doing any more staggered. I did this to more people. Yeah. Xiaojing wine. Also did this as well to the defense level pairwise and bind. Sure. Do this here. I don't really need that actually. Actually, return end. No. I want like the encounter start ones. Because that is when it actually matters. That's just for rupture. I don't really need that. Yeah, there's not much. The wall stuff is more for stats effects, which you already are able to get stats effects really easily late game. So it's not really worth it at all for a lot of this stuff. Audit 2 damage up. Yeah, sure. If they have charge, take that as well. That's probably it for spending anything, I guess. Oh, 2 damage up as well. Alright, I'll probably max out the damage up. Not too sure if I have or not. I don't know if I have to start doing stuff manually now, because that'll be the end of reading. I'm at the epilogue here. I don't know how many more pages are left. Okay, so where is it? Even as his neck was turning red, she hit me with her fist like a child. Did I tell her the truth? Your future self told me. Favored, alright. Favored, starting off. Second Rodion. That's sort of fine, I guess. Combat start? Combat start, okay. Make sure also that the Dwudden fit. Oh, it's unbreakable, it's unbreakable. Okay. What are you people doing? Haruhi troried from the doorway, disgusted. As soon as Trench fist froze as her face became pale dead. But Haruhi lifted the paper bag she was tearing with a wicked grin on her face like an evil stepmother who had just heard that her stepdaughter had eaten the poison apple and died. Maruku, you are probably sick of the maid outfit, right? Come on, it's time to change. Like a master of ancient martial arts, Haruhi crossed the gap in an instant and captured the stiffened Asahina without any trouble at all. No, what? Stop! As Asahina screamed, her uniform was forcibly removed. Stop struggling! Resistance is futile. This time, you'll be a nurse! A nurse! Or do they say hospital attendant these days? It doesn't matter, it means the same thing. At least close the door! I would have liked to stay and watch, but I excused myself from the room, shut the door, and clasped my hands in prayer. Of course, during this entire sequence, Nagoro had been sitting at the table reading her book. Alright, over here. Oh yeah, it has the thing, so it's not to be accurate for the Trash 4 task, but that's fine, it's fine. Combat start things every time. Alright. Some more sandy as well. I have the free sanity drain on from the adversities as well. Also did the... No. Yeah, they have no stagger at all. So... The paper for charting! The SOS Brigade had been sitting on the south for quite some time. But just now, I finally turned into the student council a document that vaguely resembled an application. To save the world by overloading it with fun, Haruhi's Suzumiya Brigade would definitely be rejected unless I bribed them. So I arbitrarily changed the name to the support the student body by overworking to make the world a better place. Student Service Brigade, Student Association, aka SOS Brigade. I was interpreted as counseling in regards to student life, counseling services, participation in local volunteer activities. I didn't really know what that all meant, but actually ended up being accepted. I could stick up a poster on the bulletin board offering counseling. I doubted our counseling would help anyone though. Meanwhile, under Haruhi's supervision, the citywide magical mystery patrol was going strong. Today we commemorated its second occasion. As always, the plan would be to waste an entire day, but by pure coincidence, Asuna, Nagoro, and Tozumi were all unable to go. They mentioned something about important tasks they couldn't get out of, and so I was now waiting for Haruhi by myself next to the station gate. Damn, Sandy economy has been destroyed over here. Wait, is this combat start? Okay. Alright, wait. Turn on. Move one negative effect. Hey, these ones are just saying tankier and tankier. I didn't know if the three of them were just trying to give us some space, or if some emergency had actually tropped up. However, since the three of them were anything but ordinary people, it was quite possible that they had to deal with some funny business that was going down right then in some unknown place. I checked my watch. I saw 30 minutes until we were supposed to meet. I had already been standing there for 30 minutes, as I arrived an hour early. It's not that I was particularly eager to get tracking, but there was the whole SOS Brigade practice of finding the person who arrives last, regardless of whether the person's late or not. And there were only 2 people today. I think I can stop here now. Okay, now I see how the 3000 HP might be a bit of an issue. The soon to be, it's all soon to bloom flowers. So I'm gonna have to try and dress with the 43 over there. Once I get the paralyzed drag going into Ryōshū clash with it. You know, even if that max out 35, what about if I go instead of this? Oh, that's dominating. Wow. But I need the Dwutiny. I need 7 Dwutiny. Oh no. Actually, I don't think it could kill everyone though. I don't think it would kill everyone. But, by the time we get one of the flowers down, it should be fine, I feel like. Okay, make sure I target those. I was gonna be attacking last. But yeah, hopefully I at least did one, and then the paralyze should allow it for... Okay. Here, offset that then. Okay. So put the paralyze on that, they trust that. And hopefully kill one of those with Faust or Hongyuan. Yeah, for all back here should be fine. So I've hopefully trying to take out one, Faust hopefully takes out. I could double up guaranteed 1 kill. But hopefully, I have some confidence. I have faith. I have faith in it. Alright? Then, Heishou thing as well. No, Gregor would hit the final hit. Gregor with the final hit. Oh, Meursault as well. He's gonna do that. He's taking the death sound effect, but shield. Oh, yeah, also Yusung's having AoE here. If that hit that one, that's doing damage? No, it's not. Alright, let's get back to just pausing until we get to a hidden boss, hopefully.